3 rounds to go. We're at Cliffe in the county of Kent. I don't know if people live here are Kentish men or Kentish people, but as you can see, Cliffe is an absolutely wonderful place. It's a gorgeous day outside. It's bonfire night tomorrow, and we're looking for some fireworks in here. We've got 8 competitors here who are going to attempt to win a place in the final at Oxford in a month's time. We've got some absolutely fantastic quizzes today. Some of them we've seen before, competing in QU12. Some of whom we've never met before in any size, shape or form of quiz. And some familiar faces who are making a welcome entry into QU12. Today's contestants, we're starting with at number 1.
Hello, I'm Richard Jones, and my brother's name's William.
And Mike, you've been on a few things, haven't you?
Hi, I'm Mike Albert from Shore and by Sea, and I run a company supporting inventors.
Invest.
Hi, I'm Beverly Barber from South Nutfield in Surrey.
Hello, I'm Kevin Ashman from Winchester. You might have seen me on television occasionally on No Kids.
Hi, I'm Trevor Montague. I'm from West Sussex and I'm a writer of reference works.
I'm James Webb and I live in Sunningdale in Berkshire.
Hi, I'm William Barney from Bristol in Kent.
I'm John Barber from South Nutfield in Surrey, and I can play the introduction to Smoke on the Water.
So, round 1 as usual is 12 minutes worth of questions. Each question's correct answer is worth 1 point. All questions are answered via the buzzer. Unfortunately, if you get a question wrong, you lose half your points. It means that once you've got 2 or 3 points, it might be worth sitting on it for a while. In this particular round, because there's 8 players, it's devil take the hindmost. The 6 players with the best scores will go through to round 2, and we'll have to say goodbye to the 2 players who are bringing up the rear. I don't know who they're going to be, but let's find out. Your first question, people. First rule of buzzer quiz, fingers on the buzzers. Your time starts now. Originally the creation of Reverend Marcus Morris, then Vicar of St James's Church, Southport, Lancashire, who intended it as a Christian antidote to what he saw as the bad influence of American comics during the post-war period. In which comic would you... Number 4, Kevin Ashman.
The Eagle.
The Eagle is the correct answer for 1 point. Dottie Danger was the nom de plume of which female who, along with Jane Wheedlin, founded the Go-Go's and who reached number 1. Number 6, James Webb.
Belinda Carlisle.
Is worth 1 point and puts you level with Kevin Ashman. What childish name attributed to the stinging nettles which grew in Little Ilford Park, West London, was used by Steve Marriott as the title of a song? Number 5, Trevor Montague.
Ichiku Park.
Ichiku Park. Will, you're only 1/5 of a second behind. Very unlucky. Lancaster was the middle name of which British author? Born in... Number 4, Kevin Ashman.
Ian Fleming.
Ian Fleming is great knowledge. It seems hard to sneak a look at God's cards, but that he plays the dice and uses... Number 6, James Webb.
That sounds like a quote from Blaise Pascal.
And it's not Blaise Pascal. 5, Trevor Montague.
Was Einstein?
Albert Einstein is the correct answer, James.
Pascal was something. It was something similar, wasn't it?
Making the scorer's job very difficult.
I know Will likes his fractions.
50% tequila. Unlucky, James, if you don't like fractions. 25% triple sec or Cointreau, and 25% fresh lime or lemon juice with optional salt and sweetener constitute. Number 2, the alcoholic Mike Abbott.
Margarita.
Absolutely correct. You got a question on wine and who up for you there? Well, you snaffled it up. Next question. Used 352 times in all during the 3-season run of the 1960s Batman, but only once in the later films. It was followed by many different words ranging from agility to Zorro. Which word was often used by... 3, Beverly Barber.
Holy?
Holy, Zorro, you were correct. Well done, Beverly. Puts you on a good point. To which island was Napoleon exiled? 5, Trevor Montague by 1/10 of a second.
Elba.
I'm sorry, lose half your points. 6, James Webb.
St Helena.
Correct. 1 point brings you back in. Ray Thomas, Michael Pinder, Patrick Moraz. 8, John Barber.
Moody Blues.
Is a great answer, John. Well done. Her first name means little bear. She was the first 6 James Webb.
Ursula Andress.
Awesome. Yes, well done. 1 point. Name and number required. Joseph Alwa Ratzinger became which 6 James Webb?
Benedict XVI.
Benedict XVI is another great answer, James. Which 1971 born English fashion designer and strict vegetarian was the first 6 James Webb?
Stella McCartney.
Stella McCartney is the correct answer. Who beat Lewis Hamilton by 1 point? 6 James Webb.
Kimi Räikkönen.
Kimi Räikkönen is the correct answer. What genetic name applies to C9H8O4 or acetylsalicylic acid? 4. What was the pronunciation like, Kevin?
That was alright, yeah, that was okay. Aspirin.
Aspirin is the correct answer. And Kevin, we were in there by 0.02 of a second. Frightening. What distance was run by James Parrott on the 9th of May 1770? Starting on Goswell Road before turning down Old Street, finishing at St Leonard's, Shoreditch. Although timing methods at this time were accurate enough following the invention of the chronometer by John Harrison to measure the 4 minutes correctly, sporting authorities of the time accepted the claim as genuine. The record now is not recognised by modern sporting bodies. For 8, John Barber.
Mile?
A mile is correct. He ran the 4-minute mile in the 1700s. The Skywalk, a glass walkway rooted on Hualapai Indian land, protrudes some 20 metres from the rim and over 1 kilometre above the floor of which US tourist attraction? 6, James Webb.
The Grand Canyon.
The Grand Canyon. It was on the Universal Challenge a few weeks ago. Do you still watch it? Next question. Naiad, Thalassemia. 6, James Webb.
Moons of Neptune.
Absolutely the correct answer. Give that man a round of applause. To lose half his points, encourage him. At 23:40 on Sunday, the 14th of April 1912, which ship will, by a tenth of a point, tenth of a second, 7,
The Titanic.
the Titanic. Sorry, I didn't give you the number there. Angela Lansbury plays Jessica Fletcher in which 3 Beverly Barber?
Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote is correct. Will, it's looking like anybody's going to get through here.
Yeah, we have a tie-break zone which consists of Mike, Trevor and Will all on 1 point. James has a massive lead with 7.5 points. Behind him is Kevin with 3, Beverly with 2 and John also with 2. Richard has yet to score.
I'm sure you've been practising Richard and scoring like it's going out of fashion, so come on, let's get one on the board. Here we go. Selena, Vulcano, Stromboli and Lipari are all members of which Italian island group that give their name to Win 7, Will Barney?
The Aeolian Islands.
The Aeolian Islands is correct answer, Will. Well done. A tincture invariably contains what? It's 2, Mike Abbott.
Alcohol.
Alcohol is the correct answer.
Another alcohol, and seriously.
Next question. Canis Major Alpha, Harry Potter's godfather, and the first ship to steam right across the Atlantic, all for Kevin Ashman.
Sirius.
Sirius is the correct answer. Did you get that from Harry Potter?
No, I was thinking about that for the star, first off.
Good man. Born July the 18th, 1918, who, on the 10th of May, 1994, was inaugurated as South Africa's first black. 6, James Webb.
Nelson Mandela.
Yes, it had to be. Which actress did King Kong carry up the Empire State Building to, Mike Abbott?
Fay Ray.
In the original version, the correct answer, 1 point for Mike, well done. 3 minutes to go. When Harry Met Sally, City Slickers and Anna 3, Beverly Barber.
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal is the correct answer. Next question. Which capital city contains the letters Y, K and J together consecutively? 5, Trevor Montague.
Reykjavik.
Reykjavik is the correct answer. Unlucky James. Who is the youngest of the twin Gibb brothers? The one who married Lulu. 3, Beverly Barber by 1/25th of a second.
Morris.
Is the correct answer. Next question. A Mercedes parked in Sloane Square on the 16th of May 1983 became London's first victim of what? 5, Trevor Montague.
Wheel clamp.
It was wheel clamped. Is that in your book?
I hope so.
Next one. What word, when often suffixed to pin or pin, renders pin a tautology? 3, Beverly Barber.
Number.
Number is correct. We'll be going to Will for a score check with 1.5 minutes left after this. What 1956 song title follows the following lyrics? I'm going to write a little letter, going to make to Mike Abbott.
Roll over Beethoven.
That's correct. Will, we've got 1 minute to go almost.
Okay, Richard is still in the danger zone with 0 points. In the tie-break zone are currently Will and John with 2 points. Just ahead is Trevor with 3. Looking more or less safe now are Kevin with 4, Mike with 4, Beverly with 5 and James with 8.5.
I'm going to try and rush through these questions. Your clock will be starting on 1 minute 15 seconds. Jakey Rabinovitz changes his name to Jack Robin, played by Al Jolson, in which 1927 film? 3, Beverly Barber.
The Jazz Singer.
The Jazz Singer is correct for 1 point. Which American multimillionaire, formerly a pilot, died a recluse in 7, Will Barney?
Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes is the correct answer, Will. Comprising the fibrous tunic, the vascular tunic and the nervous tunic, within which part of the body are found the cornea and the iris? 5, Trevor Montague.
The eye.
The eye is correct. 30 seconds left. Earl de Biggers created which Oriental for Kevin Ashman?
Charlie Chan.
Charlie Chan is correct. Which company symbolised by a 10cc song title in Latin written over? 2, Mike Abbott.
MGM.
MGM is a great answer. Well done, Mike. We've got a few seconds left. Gaborone is the capital of which? 6, James Webb.
Botswana.
Botswana is correct. We have got 1 question left, which will give John Barber the opportunity to catch up Will to go into a playoff. The rest of you are welcome to press if you want to spoil his particular party. Trevor, if you want to dip out, you're welcome to.
Come on, John. Get this.
Who wrote the story on which the film 2001? 7, Will Barney.
Arthur C. Clarke.
You're safe and in the next round. What another fantastic round is. Unfortunately, John Barber and Richard Jones, thank you so much for coming and joining with us today. Well played, Will. See you next time. Meanwhile, the other 6 are in the final. We'll see you after the break. Round 10, part 2 of Q12. We whittle the 8 original contestants down to 6. Mike, Beverly, Kevin, Trevor, James and Will. Who do I want to win this? I'd like Will to get through to the next round. Again, the bottom 2 players will drop out before the final part of today's quiz. So, round 2 as usual. Long convoluted questions. I've explained the rules already to the contestants. If you want to know the rules, watch some more Q12s on YouTube. Or look at the site at QU12.com. First question. What designation is shared by, for 6 points, the first rocket design in the aggregate series designed in 1933 by Werner von Braun? For 5 points, originally the Flying Scotsman. For 4 points, Mark Reed, Paul Marazzi, Ben Adams and Christian Ingebrigtsen. For 3 points, a piece of paper measuring 841 by 594 millimetres. For 2 points, the road which runs from number 5, Trevor Montague by 1/10 of a second from James.
A1.
Is the correct answer. 2 points and a very valuable 2 points in this situation. Good luck, all players. For 6 points, which group name was used by a short-lived act during the 1980s which featured Mary Hopkin, Peter Skellern and Julian Lloyd Webber? For 5 points, and also, according to the Guinness Book of British Hit Singles and Albums 2005, the most successful act of the last decade in the United Kingdom. For 4 points, the present lineup includes rhythm and lead guitarist Jem Archer, bass guitarist Andy Bell and drummer Zach Starkey. 6, James Webb.
Oasis.
Is the correct answer. We're going to get to the famous players in just a moment. That was for 4 points. Next question. Who was the first Roman emperor to be born outside Italia? 4, Kevin Ashman.
Trajan.
I'm afraid it wasn't. Minus 6 points.
Yeah.
For 5 points, in Gaul, 10 AD. For 4 points, Tiberius Drusus Nero Germanicus were his other given names. 2, Mike Abbott.
Claudius.
Claudius is the correct answer.
Forgotten about him. Yes.
For 4 points. Fourth question. What year? On March the 27th, the Norwegian oil platform Alexander Kielland collapses in the North Sea, killing 123 of its crew of 212. On April the 10th, Spain and the United Kingdom agreed to reopen the border between Gibraltar and Spain, closed since 1969. On May the 18th, Mount St Helens erupts in what? For Kevin Ashman.
1980.
Yes, you needed that one.
Yeah.
That's a 4 pointer, which brings you back to minus 2.
I'm getting that on Wales, really.
Read it and weep, everybody. Look at the scores. Fifth question. Who was born on the 30th of November 1960? For 5 points, he's entitled to graze his sheep on Leicester Town Hall Square. For 4 points, he's the boy. 7, Will Barney.
Gary Lineker.
He's a great 4 point, Phil. Well done.
That's what I would have guessed.
Who is being described? 6 feet tall and weighs between 239 and 300 pounds. He has a brother, for 5 points, and 3 famous children. For 4 points, he once bowled a perfect game. For 3 points, 7, Will Barney.
Homer Simpson.
I think you're in the final, mate. That was for 3 points. What 5-letter word can describe a frolicsome leap or spring, a skip, a jump, as in mirth or in dancing? For 5 points, a prank or a madcap. 4, Kevin Ashman.
Caper.
Is the correct answer for 5 points and puts you on the 3, I believe. What do the following have in common? The game Tomba and the game show Jeopardy. For 5 points, the group Wham. For 4 points, Mike Abbott by a minuscule part of a second.
Exclamation mark.
An exclamation mark is the correct answer, and James Webb was so close there. Our 9th question coming up.
Thank
4
you.
questions to play. Good luck, everybody. Who, in 1950 and 1951, was unsuccessful in Dartford, but in 1959 was successful in Finchley? For Kevin Ashman by
Thatcher.
that much. Margaret Thatcher is the correct answer, and maybe safe. Awesome 6. What am I describing? It opened on May the 6th, 1889. 6, James Webb.
The Eiffel Tower.
Were you there?
Yes.
Well done. Another 6 pointer. We should have 6 point cards around here. Blazing one straight over the fielder's heads into the outfield. We've got 2 questions left. Will, we're going to ask you what the situation's like to see who needs to press and who needs to rest.
Okay, yeah, Beverly definitely needs to press, and
I'll try.
Trevor probably needs to press on at least one 6 pointer.
And some people don't want to get any wrong as well, isn't there? Good luck. 2 to go. With which country would you associate the international letters WAN? For 5 point. 4, Kevin Ashman.
Nigeria.
Awesome answer. Another 3 scores. Nigeria's correct answer. What? 6 points without a doubt. Trevor, Beverly, you need something here. Good luck. Which town was accidentally stripped of its centuries-old city status in 1998? Number 5, Trevor Montague.
I think it's this town, isn't it? Rochester.
Is the correct answer, and you've got through to the next round. The 4 finalists, Kevin, James, Mike and Trevor. We'll see you in a few minutes after this. Unfortunately, Will And Beverly.
I love Beverly.
We are going to persuade you to go to Oxford and enter
couldn't do it on the
the
last
repechage. But thanks ever so much for joining. Will, you look absolutely safe. Seven has never ever been knocked out before, so give him a round of applause.
Well, well, mate.
See you in 2 months.
Should have registered.
Round 10, part 2 of Q12. We whittle the 8 original contestants down to 6. Mike, Beverly, Kevin, Trevor, James and Will. Who do I want to win this? I'd like Will to get through to the next round. Again, the bottom 2 players will drop out before the final part of today's quiz. So, round 2 as usual. Long convoluted questions. I've explained the rules already to the contestants. If you want to know the rules, watch some more Q12s on YouTube. Or look at the site at QU12.com. First question. What designation is shared by, for 6 points, the first rocket design in the aggregate series designed in 1933 by Werner von Braun? For 5 points, originally the Flying Scotsman. For 4 points, Mark Reed, Paul Marazzi, Ben Adams and Christian Ingebrigtsen. For 3 points, a piece of paper measuring 841 by 594 millimetres. For 2 points, the road which runs from number 5, Trevor Montague, by 1/10 of a second from James.
A1.
Is the correct answer. 2 points and a very valuable 2 points in this situation. Good luck, all players. For 6 points, which group name was used by a short-lived act during the 1980s which featured Mary Hopkin, Peter Skellern and Julian Lloyd Webber? For 5 points, and also, according to the Guinness Book of British Hit Singles and Albums 2005, the most successful act of the last decade in the United Kingdom. For 4 points, the present lineup includes rhythm and lead guitarist Jem Archer, bass guitarist Andy Bell and drummer Zach Starkey. 6, James Webb.
Oasis.
Is the correct answer. We're going to get to the famous players in just a moment. That was for 4 points. Next question. Who was the first Roman emperor to be born outside Italia? 4, Kevin Ashman.
Trajan.
I'm afraid it wasn't. Minus 6 points.
Yeah.
For 5 points, in Gaul, 10 AD. For 4 points, Tiberius Drusus Nero Germanicus were his other given names. 2, Mike Abbott.
Claudius.
Claudius is the correct answer.
Forgotten about him. Yes.
For 4 points. 4th question. What year? On March the 27th, the Norwegian oil platform Alexander Kielland collapses in the North Sea, killing 123 of its crew of 212. On April the 10th, Spain and the United Kingdom agreed to reopen the border between Gibraltar and Spain, closed since 1969. On May the 18th, Mount St Helens erupts in what? 4, Kevin Ashman.
1980.
Yes, you needed that one.
Yeah.
That's a 4 point, which brings you back to minus 2.
I'm getting that on Wales, boy.
Read it and weep, everybody. Look at the scores. 5th question. Who was born on the 30th of November 1960? For 5 points, he's entitled to graze his sheep on Leicester Town Hall Square. For 4 points, he's the boy. 7, Will Barney.
Gary Lineker.
He's a great 4 points, Will. Well done.
What was a guess?
Who is being described? 6 feet tall and weighs between 239 and 300 pounds. He has a brother, for 5 points, and 3 famous children. For 4 points, he once bowled a perfect game. For 3 points, 7, Will Barney.
Homer Simpson.
I think you're in the final, mate. That was for 3 points. What 5-letter word can describe a frolicsome leap or spring, a skip, a jump, as in mirth or in dancing? For 5 points, a prank or a madcap. For Kevin Ashman
Caper.
is the correct answer for 5 points and puts you on the 3, I believe. What do the following have in common? The game Tomba and the game show Jeopardy. For 5 points, the group Wham. For 4 points, Mike Abbott by a minuscule part of a second.
Exclamation mark.
An exclamation mark is the correct answer, and James Webb was so close there. Our 9th question coming up,
Thank
4
you.
questions to play. Good luck, everybody. Who, in 1950 and 1951, was unsuccessful in Dartford, but in 1959 was successful in Finchley? For Kevin Ashman by
Margaret Thatcher.
that much. Margaret Thatcher is the correct answer, and may be safe. Awesome 6. What am I describing? It opened on May the 6th, 1889. 6, James Webb.
The Eiffel Tower.
Were you there?
Yes.
Well done. Another 6-pointer. We should have 6-point cards around here. Blazing one straight over the fielder's heads into the outfield. We've got 2 questions left. Will, we're going to ask you what the situation's like to see who needs to press and who needs to rest.
Okay, yeah, Beverly definitely needs to press, and
I'll try.
Trevor probably needs to press on at least one 6-pointer.
And some people don't want to get any wrong as well, isn't there? Good luck. 2 to go. With which country would you associate the international letters WAN? The 5 point. 4, Kevin Ashman.
Nigeria.
Awesome answer. Another. Nigeria's correct answer. What? 6 points without a doubt. Trevor, Beverly, you need something here. Good luck. Which town was accidentally stripped of its centuries-old city status in 1998? Number 5, Trevor Montague.
I think it's this town, isn't it? Rochester.
Is the correct answer, and you've got through to the next round. The 4 finalists, Kevin, James, Mike and Trevor. We'll see you in a few minutes after this. Unfortunately, Will and Beverly.
I love Beverly.
We're going to persuade you to go to Oxford and enter
couldn't
the
do on that last
repechage. But thanks ever so much for joining. Will, you look absolutely safe. 7 has never ever been knocked out before, so give them a round of applause.
Well done, mate.
See you in a few minutes.
Should have risk registered.
Last part of round 10 of QU12 in Rochester, well in Cliffe, north of Rochester in Kent. And we have Mike Abbott, Kevin Ashman, Trevor Montague and my old mucker James Webb going to fight it out. As usual, the last part is a competition to get to 12 points. Each correct answer is worth 1 point. You have 3 lives. If you get a question wrong, you lose one of them. After that, you're out. Many people have fallen by the wayside doing this. Barry Simmons. Mike, have you ever dropped out at this stage?
Nearly, it ruined it for me.
Oh well, so we'll see how it goes. There may be some connection between the answers and questions. Who knows? But good luck anyway, all players. Who's going to win this? Let's see. For 1 point, they're all for 1 point. Fingers on the buzzers. What is the second largest Greek city, confusingly cited as a capital? 6, James Webb.
Thessaloniki.
Is the correct answer, worth 1 point. Thessalonica of Macedon was the half-sister of which military leader? 4, Kevin Ashman.
Alexander the Great.
Yes. Next question. By what name do we know Alexander Walter Bar Lyle, the winner of the Open in 1985? 5, Trevor Montague.
Sandy Line.
Sandy is absolutely the correct answer, and it seems so apparent once you've heard the answer, doesn't it? 4th question. What name is given to those rocks, including pebbles, that are smaller than cobbles but larger than sand? 5, Trevor Montague.
Shale.
I'm afraid not. That's one life gone, Trevor. Anybody else want to risk it? Gravel.
Gravel, okay.
What is the characteristic ingredient of the Finnish dish gravla? 6, James Webb by 3/100 of a second.
Fish.
Prompt.
Served cold.
Lose a life. 3, Mike Abbott.
Salmon.
Salmon is the correct answer. Next question. Winning the 1981 Booker Prize and the James Tate Black Memorial Prize for the same year, which Salman Rushdie for Kevin Ashman?
Midnight's Children.
Good point.
Salmon Rushdie.
Yeah.
Booker's in 1993. Next question. Which children's character, classified in the Arne Thompson classification as a typical type 510A, brackets, the persecuted heroine, end of brackets, was created by Charles Perrault? She had to be home by midnight. 4, Kevin Ashman.
Cinderella.
Cinderella, of course it was Cinderella. Which Cinderella team won the 2007 Asian Nations Football Cup? 4, Kevin Ashman.
Iraq.
Awesome answer, Trevor. You were so close there, 17/100 of a second. Name either river which joins to form the Shat El. 3, Mike Abbott.
Tigris.
Tigris is correct, and the other one was the Euphrates, of course. Next question. What is the largest surviving tiger? 6, James Webb.
The Sumatran tiger.
I'm sorry, that's lose a life. Oh, we're going for it. Kevin.
Siberian tiger.
Your Siberian, or the other names include the Amur, Manchurian or North China tiger. James, 2 lives gone. Keep your powder dry. Bordering Siberia to the south, which country, the 6th largest in the world? 6, James Webb.
Kazakhstan.
Awesome answer, 1 point. Living life on the edge. Next question. Who is said to have been born on July the 30th, 1972, in the fictional village of Kuzkek, to Asimbala Sagdiev and Boltok, the town rapist? 4, Kevin Ashman.
Borat.
Borat is the correct answer. James, I thought you'd have eaten that one up.
I didn't recognise the name. Sagdiev.
Borat Sagdiev. Credited with 80 confirmed air combat victories. 4, Kevin Ashman.
Manfred von Richthofen, the Red Baron.
The Red Baron is correct, and that takes you on to 7 points with all your lives intact. Who had a UK hit in 1973 with Snoopy versus the Red... 3, Mike Abbott.
Royal Guardsman.
In 1973 with Snoopy versus the Red Baron. The question's still alive. Lose a life, Mike. In 1973 it was the Hot Shots. I'm sorry, Mike, I did verify that question earlier on as well.
Royal Guardsman was about 69.
Yeah.
So.
Kevin's on 7 points, Mike's on 2, James is on 2 and Trevor's on 1. Which actor has appeared in Hot Shots, Young Guns, Platoon? 6, James Webb.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen is a point. Who originally voiced the Mr. Sheen adverts, founded Private Eye and was a member of the 6, James Webb.
Richard Ingrams.
James, au revoir.
Goodbye.
My man.
Can I stay here though?
You can stay
I
there.
have to walk-
We've
have to
got
do the walk of shame,
Let's
though.
do a round of applause for James, please. A great battle. Stormed through the first round, but was up against it after a couple of very unfortunate answers. The question is still live. Who originally voiced the Mr. Sheen adverts, founded Private Eye, and was a member of the I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue team up to 4, Kevin Ashman?
Willie Rushton.
Of course, it was the brilliant Willie Rushton, and that's 8 points for Kevin, 4 more to go with all your lives intact. At the start of his cinematic career, who was widely publicised as having a penis ranging from 12.5 to 16 inches long when fully erect, earning him the name Johnny Wad? 2, Mike Abbott.
Depp.
Not Johnny Depp. That's some life gone for Mike Abbott, which puts you in the danger zone. John Holmes.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, we all got that straight away in Pontefract when I asked that question. Which 2 distances were gold medals won by Kelly Holmes in the 2005 Trevor Montague?
8 and 1500 metres.
8 and 1500 metres is correct. Which compound word has recently gained visibility through the practice of making loans to borrowers who do not qualify for the best market interest rates. And it has triggered the contagious financial crisis of 2007, especially in the United States property market.
So it's a two-word phrase, Steve.
Compound word.
I'm not going to risk it.
What would you have said?
Subprime.
Subprime is the correct answer. James, I'm afraid
So
you can't
obvious.
buy yourself back in. Subprime is the correct answer. I don't think that story's finished yet neither. I may be wrong. If 2 is the first, what is the 7th prime number? Five, Trevor Montague.
17.
Is the correct answer. I can see people sitting in your pocket. Oh, I've got that a long time ago. Next one. Who had a UK hit in 1979 with 17? Oh, I wish I was playing. It was the Regents. Next one. I'm having you on eggheads, mate. Next one. What is the rent, site only, of Regent Street in Monopoly? Chris Curtis, where are you? Anybody want to guess? James?
£320.
The rent, site only, is £26.
Oh, sorry, I see what you mean, yeah.
It's real rent in Pontefract, £26 a week. Next one, not in London. What, according to research ongoing in 2007 by Daniel Kunkel and Gene Cooperman, can always be solved in 26 moves or less? It was first given a Hungarian patent in 1975. 5, Trevor Montague.
Rubik's Cube.
A Rubik's Cube. Trevor can do it in 9 seconds, I bet. 1 point, Trevor, well done. In 1982, which event saw a 6-foot Rubik's Cube displayed in Knoxville, Tennessee? These events have been organised for more than 1.5 centuries, the first one being held in the Crystal Palace in Hyde Park, London in 1851. 4, Kevin Ashman.
Great exhibition.
It says grudgingly accept Great Exhibition only after centuries. Correct. Or World's Fair or Expo would have been sufficient. Kevin, you're on 9.3 to go. Steve O, Chris Pontius, Ryan Dunn, Bam Margera, Jason Wee Manakuna and Johnny Knoxville are the stars of which MTV series featuring the stars performing ludicrous and often dangerous stunts? James?
It's Jackass.
It is Jackass, and Kevin, you were too late there. Sorry about
No, it's
that.
too late.
Can you believe the mass ranks that we've got here and dropping all these questions? Essox lucius is a taxonomic name for which freshwater fish, especially small specimens colloquially referred to as jacks? 3, Mike Abbott.
Pike.
Pike is the correct answer. Pike, Harriman, Garrett, April, Decker, Archer, Jellicoe, Sulu, Riker, Spock, Picard. 4, Kevin Ashman.
Star Trek.
Prompt,
Crew of the Enterprise.
prompt,
Captains of the...
yes. I didn't dare volley him out. Which privateer was hung at Wapping in 1701? 4, Kevin Ashman.
Captain Kidd.
Captain Kidd with 1 to go in 1701. Which company moved from Fleet Street and built a new £80 million printing and publishing works in the north of Wapping in 1986, sparking considerable trade?
News International.
4, Kevin Ashman, Press and Got News International, and Kevin, a comfortable win in the end. Absolutely brilliant. Well, we're going to talk to the players in just a moment, and we'll see what they have to say about themselves and their own performances, and a fantastic win from Kevin. Oh, I just love this game. My heart goes out to some players at times, no more so than Will beside me here, who's represented Cliffe extraordinarily well. And I did believe after 4 or 5 questions I said, that's you in the final, didn't I?
You certainly did. A full sense of security.
What did you feel like when about the town question when it came up?
Well, I knew the answer, but of course couldn't be sure on the date. And as I had 7 points, if I'd have blown it then, that would have been a complete mess. So it meant that somebody had to get a very high score with that question. So I think I had to let it go to see whether they could. And of course, if the date had been wrong, it'd be different to town, then I wouldn't have been anywhere anyway.
Yeah.
So annoying, but there you go.
And when Trevor said this town, I thought, come on then, this town. I thought sometimes you get that mental block, but extraordinarily unlucky, mate. And hope you're participating again sometime when we come down to Kent.
No problem. Great fun, thanks.
One of me, his biggest fan is James Webb. I was fortunate enough to meet him at Leeds University, where he captained our Leeds University Challenge team, serial University Challenge entrant, or something like that.
That was a long time ago.
James has been extraordinarily busy and been off the quiz circuit for quite a while. But James, tell us about what went wrong. The 3 lives went very quickly when you did so extraordinarily well in the first round. Did you feel you had to chase something there?
Yes, I decided that the only way to win would be to stop Kevin answering the questions first, so I started pressing earlier than I normally would.
Yeah, it's quite extraordinary the way you played in the first round. You seem to get a higher percentage right at the same kind of level as well, getting stuck in there.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have buzzed to say a couple of them, but I think I was put in a bit of a bad mood about the salmon prompt, so it made me slightly impetuous.
Well, one day you must come round with Emma and Oscar, and we'll have gravel axe and snaps or something, and we'll put it all behind us, shall we?
Right.
We've never got drunk before together, so I'm sorry about the salmon, mate, but we'll make up for it some other time. Mike, also on 3 points, did you feel you were chasing something there?
Yeah, well, I came with a tactic to beat Kevin today, but it didn't work. He wouldn't put out his arms, so I could anaesthetised him.
You're buying shares in railway companies, aren't you?
You know me, I like to travel, I like to play this quiz, and when you live maybe at the top of the second division of quizzing, it's difficult to beat the people in the first division.
3 weeks, Preston pounds, you've got your ticket, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, and nobody more than you deserves to get through the next round. Obviously, you're up against some very, very good competitors, one including Trevor Montague, who normally would have expected to at least be contending, but in the last round, you've blown away, really, Trevor. There's not much you could do about that, was there?
Not against Kev, no, he's done that to me many times. So, I mean, it's to be expected, to be honest. Even if I was at the top of my form, I would expect Kevin to.
You've been around the scene for a long time. You've seen a lot of players. You've seen quite well Pat and also Peter Edis. You competed against him in
Peter's
London.
Improved more than anyone.
How do you see it going in the final? Would you take Kevin at 3-1?
Well, if it was an ordinary quiz, I'd snap your arm off to have Kevin at 3-1.
I would as well.
In this format, 3-1 is about right.
Okay.
It's about right. Yeah.
Which takes us to today's winner, captain of Eggheads, widely regarded as one of the best quizzes in the country, and justifiably so, as we've seen today. You seem to adapt, Kevin, to formats fairly quickly. In the first round, you just so kept your powder dry.
Yeah, the crucial thing in the first round is just to get through. So once you've accumulated enough points, then there's no point in risking too much. And when it came to the final round as well, once I'd got a few points in front, there was no point throwing lives away by risking anything too much, as long as I managed to maintain my position and just build up towards the...
It was a great competition today, arguably the most exciting one, especially round 2. But you justified your favouritism for this round and going into the final. Best of luck to you. I'm sure that as time wears on, the entries get stronger and stronger. This is your pairs cyclopedia, which you probably actually know everything in there anyway. And the cheque for £100, which will pay you into Oxford, and as a professional you'll be competing for the £1,000. Very good luck for it, and well done. Thanks very much everybody for competing, for Will, for Jake, and especially the audience.